Hello. I keep feeling like I gotta do my, I always forget. There, off, on, there we go. Good, good. You can hear me. Okay. That's how I prevent. So my neck is feeling better today, chat. For those of you that don't follow the Instagram and haven't seen the update, um, my neck is much better today. So I'm thinking it is just I tweaked it weird on like Friday, and that's why I had pain for the last 4-ish days. I don't know. Today has been a very low key day. I was gonna shower before I streamed. However, I was like, after stream, I want to go in the pool. So I might go do that and go sit in the hot tub for a bit and see if that helps my back just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna shower after that. So you get my messy hair. I did blow dry my bangs to see if that would help with the. Not really though. I'm just a bit of a mess. I slapped on some mascara. That's all you get today. It's a little chopped. We're looking chopped. But that's what we call, swell entertainment, scuff entertainment. You know how it is. Anyways, this is the project I've been working on. You guys may have recognized this from February. When did Joann's close? God, was that February? No. March? April? When did I do? Anyways, whenever I went to Joann's 9,000 years ago when it was closing, okay, I bought a bunch of this orange yarn, okay, and I was like, I'll make a blanket. This is like 5 skeins of orange yarn, okay, and then I was like, I don't want to just have this like weird length wrap thing. That's dumb. But I had other yarn because I didn't want to buy more, so I've now gone through an entire skein of. Hang on, let me hold the. An entire thing of purple has also been added. Okay. An entire thing of purple. Okay. No, it's not single crochet. And now we're going to add, I'm out of this now. So now we're going to add in this one that I also bought from Joann's that was for a project that never actually got finished. So I'm going to use this instead because it's green, and I have I have a blue of this yarn that we're going to use later. So we're going to continue to do this, and it's a hodgepodge. I need to make a thing with my hands type of project. You know what I'm saying? You know how sometimes crafters, you just have to make a thing? That's where I'm at with this project, where I'm like, I just need to make something. I need a distraction. I need something to do with my hands that's not being on my phone, and this has been very productive. So that's what we are doing today. I was finger crocheting this thing, which was it was a snake. I made a snake. Welcome in, YouTube viewers. If you are unaware, hello. The world keeps annoying me, so let me busy myself. Yes, exactly. So we are now doing green, and then there's a dark blue that I have, and I think that's all the yarn I have. I don't know if there's more somewhere, but maybe that's I'm using a 6.5 millimeter hook. And I am not doing single crochet. I'll show you what I'm doing. Hi, this is where you guys learn. I learn by doing. I am very bad at learning with like the proper names of things, okay? So, this is how much I have left of this yarn. It was a whole ball, okay? And I just like weaved it in. I also stopped doing the knots, chat. Here, let me show you what I do. Because someone did tell me what this stitch was, what type of crochet stitch this was. I don't remember. I just learn by figuring it out. Sometimes I watch a YouTube tutorial of how to do a thing. Don't ask me names of things. I am a doer. That's it. I'm eating 8 pounds of chicken for dinner. That's a lot. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. So this is, it's in, around once. Then you go into the next spot, okay? Then around again. And then you take everything off the hook aside from the last one that you did. I don't know what it's called, but it builds up really nicely. Someone has told me what it's called. Learning about crocheting properly or Hank Green. Oh, Hank Green is quaking. Yeah, no, so for those of you that don't know, because I always like to joke about how everyone seems to think that I exist in the span of a YouTube video. I have many interests and things that I know how to do and have learned how to do since I was a child. that I've just been doing for years, that just because they have not made it into my content does not mean it is not a part of my life. I've been crocheting since I was probably 9, knitting since I was 7 or 8. I don't like knitting much. Sewing since I was like 6. Because like that was like one of the first big Christmas gifts that I remember was a sewing machine that my grandmother got me with like a whole, I literally still have the sewing box that she gave me for that Christmas since I was 6. Literally still have it. It's got a bunch of dogs on it. Because prophecy, okay? Literally still use it. It's just, it's like I've always been a maker. I just don't make maker content. You know what I'm saying? I'm on steroids. That's a lot. I was foraging June berries from the parking lot. Sick. Apparently, one of the Michael's stores, they have because it's Halloween, decorations are out. They have a skeleton out, and they put like a Michael's suit that says like one of the vests, and it has a Joanne name tag, like Joanne's is dead. But And how old were you when you finished your first book? when I started my first book? No, so for years, chat, and this is part of the undiagnosed ADHD. I had many what's it called? Okay, we're gonna do. That would go there. Yes, we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys how I'm going to, because I'm gonna weave these through later. I did this on the last add-on. We're gonna do this, and then okay. Adding in the new color. Let's see how well that works. There we go. Okay. It's going to be a different tension, so we'll see how the first layer is going to be annoying, but we'll see. It's like a chenille yarn. So it's one of the Juicy Couture yarns that Joanne's had, which I think that contract fully disintegrated with the disintegration of Joanne's, which is a bummer because I really did like a lot of their fabric. I still have a bunch of the fabric that I have from that. This is the only yarn that I got, was this one thing of yarn, because it was for the one project, but now I'm using it for this. So, but I love a good chenille. Many hobbies. I don't need to know how to cook an 8-pound chicken. That's okay. Thank you, though. I also do know how to cook, Chad. I cook quite a bit. My dad taught me how to cook more than my mom taught me how to cook. My mom was not. When I talk about my mom, you guys are always like, is your mom dead? She's not dead. She's just dead to me. It's very different. But my mom was never a particularly good cook. But I don't know how much of that is like the effects of the recession of 2008 and how much of that is just like, you know, alcoholism. But my dad and her both cooked quite a bit. But my dad was always very much like, oh, it's dinner time, come help me, you know, type of thing. So my dad still cooks a lot now that he's living alone. Nail binding is a fun craft. No, there's a bunch of like expiring like hobbies going extinct. And I do think that would be kind of a fun stream month next year, guys. Maybe we do that where like that's like one day a week we do like a hobby on the verge of extinction. Like each month we like pick a different hobby, and we do like our crafting streams, but like we do the like expiring, like the extinction hobbies. God, this next row with this one is going to be annoying. I can already tell. This is fine. This is how we get used to using different fibers. Not everything. It doesn't have to look perfect because it's just going to be in my apartment. No one's going to see this. I'm not selling it. There's no purpose for me doing this. It's okay. That's all right. I am allowed to have unproductive hobbies. I didn't have therapy this week, chat. It's time to be self-taught with everything she does, but appreciated unhinged. Strange Family Club. No, the NASA invite comes from the 5th channel, the science one. And she gets invited to go to space by NASA. I want to go to space. I want to go to NASA. The other one, the thing that I did see a bunch of videos on a couple of months ago where I was like, I think I would need a dining room table for that, which I still have not found one, chat, that I like. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing a no-buy year, but my one big purchase that I'm allowed to buy this year is a dining room table because I still don't have one. Also, I signed my lease. I'm officially staying here for another year. I don't have time to move. I really don't want to. I don't have the funds to like just afford moving. Like it's not happening. So it's fine. We're just going to sock money away once we pay off the debt to get the hell out of here next year. That's the plan. The plan is to be out of here, let's say next September. That's my goal. This time next year, I better be in a different spot. I don't care if it's a house. I don't care if it's a van. I don't care if it's Japan. I don't care. It's a matter of getting out of this apartment because I'm not doing this again. Haha. GT3 this weekend. Yes, he is. I have a convention this weekend, chat. So we'll see how streaming goes. My plan is still to stream. Sunday will be difficult. Sunday will probably be a no. Friday and Saturday, we're going to figure it out. It's going to depend. So stretchy. Oh, sorry. What was I saying? The thing that I was interested in, it was wet felting. Is that what it's called? Hold on. Let me pull it up. I was seeing all these YouTube videos on it. Yes. I'll show you. So this is wet felting. Which video was it that I watched? I watched someone making a beret out of it. But it's basically like it's taking felt and like you use friction and water to felt things. Wet felting beret. Let's see if I can find the video that I had made. That I had seen. Why am I here? Anyways. Oh, I'm also on the wrong, hold on, switch account. Why is the search not working? Anyways. This is wet felting, essentially. But you start with wool and you layer it, you spread it out, and you like layer it how you want it. See, so you use... I know you can't hear her, that's fine. I'm just trying to explain. But you just like do layers of the felt, the actual like the wool material, okay? And then you lay it out how you want it, watch. And then you cover it. You like, it's such a wet experience because you literally like, so it's like soap and water and like mesh. So soapy water, and then you just like down it between the mesh. There's plastic on the bottom. You literally take soap and you just like go like this and you squeeze the water and you just keep doing this. You do this for like hours and then it becomes like a fabric, like a wool fabric that's felted. And it like, it's crazy. You just keep doing this. Why are people being weird, Sparkly? I looked over and then I saw the friend alert. Who's being weird? Who's being weird? God, the neck is better. Yeah, me too. God. I think it's fine. I'm still taking it easy today. I could have worked out today. I decided against it. But like, let me find, here's a good example maybe. So you like make the layers and then see, this is how I saw this person making the beret was doing it like this. And you basically then cut a hole and then you keep doing it. What making? I am crocheting, but I was showing off wet felting technique because I thought it was interesting. And then adding more colors and details and things like that. I just find it interesting, but I want to eventually do. I think that could be something fun. No, it seems extremely messy, which is why you need space, and I don't have enough flat surfaces to do it. I wish I could find. It's so weird. I can't find that beret video that I saw. It might be in my watch laters, because I think I'm sure I flagged it. Just a general reminder, y'all, we appreciate the offers of advice and things, but be mindful that we aren't too familiar because at the end of the day, we're but strangers. They sell wool felting fiber Tau at Daiso. I think it's not even very expensive. What making? That seems messy. What if someone felted a man's toupee? Boom. Tread lightly, Temple. Sparkly as bandhammer privileges. I've done regular felting before. I've never seen wet felting. Yeah, I got a bunch of videos for not too long ago because I was looking at embroidery videos because someone embroidered a tapestry. It's actually so sick. Hold on. I definitely know her video is still up. Because I thought about doing this for my own room. It's this video. So this is from the user. I know you guys can't hear her. We're not going to watch the full thing, but
it's actually for quilting.
This is, and oops, I'm going to turn her audio way down. This is from Morning Mercury. She's got only 21k subs, but she's made some really cool projects. But she did this like insane. She did like yarn to fill it out. She literally designed a custom tapestry and then worked on it for literal months and embroidered it.
To hang the tapestry, I used these interlocking command.
Look at this thing. It's so sick. And it's like pretty decent size too. I'm like, I want to do that. I don't have time for that. But no, she's done a bunch of cool videos. I am subscribed to her. She did sewing a set of armor for you. That is for me. Making a lacy gothic dress, sewing a cat-shaped heating pad. Like she made a giant plushy bead lizard. Like just kind of fun crafts. I want to find a way. I'm trying to think of how I could pitch her like better thumbnails because I do think there is a thumbnail issue here, and that's what's happening with the lack. Like the all over the place views, if you guys can't tell this. But I also don't know her. She made a parachute princess dress too, which I did think was cool.
Out.
Let me show you.
Skirt. So it is done. I'm so happy with it.
It's fun. A big old blanket. A big old blanket with yarn that's already in my apartment is the problem. So this was bought from Shutting Down Joann's. This was already in my apartment. Why did I buy it? I don't remember. I have a blue one as well that we're going to add in eventually. This is also from Shutting Down a Joann's. This is Juicy Couture yarn that is chenille that I'm not sure if I'm going to be mad at myself for having worked it into this, but I have it in my apartment. So this part is going to be probably really lumpy because I haven't really crocheted with chenille before. Oh, I did get a TikTok. I've seen this girl's video, I think sometime around January, and I have not seen her since. She is crocheting the entire, all the like warning sheet that comes with her birth control. She is crocheting it. She does a monthly update. She works on it when she is on her period, okay? And she is doing, she's gotten like 6 panels done already. Like it's insane. And she's like, I've been working on this for so long that the warning sheet changed, like the formatting changed. And she still is not at like the possible side effects. Like she's just starting like she's on the part that's like, do not consume if, you know, type of thing. So, but it's like that's a crazy project, but I think it's a good thing to do to show like just the scale of like the risks of taking birth control and things like that, which I'm on birth control, by the way, chat. This is not an anti-birth control page, but it's something that like when I was put on birth control, I was put on birth control because of Accutane, and it's just one of those things where I don't know. It's just something that for a lot of women that can get pregnant, it's seen as like a necessary fact of life that like, oh, you're going to have to deal with birth control at some point. And it's just something that I think a lot of men and a lot of people just don't really think about all that much. So a very physical rendition of like a 2-scale thing showing the risk of being on birth control, I think is actually a really cool like project to be working on. She is crocheting it, like the text and everything, typos included, because yes, there are typos in it. It's crazy. But I would never do crocheting the whole side effects thing. Yeah, it's already huge. It's taken like up her whole floor, and it's like only like 7-ish panels, I would say now. Like I like my birth control, but also it's one of those things where I had a lot of fear when I went on birth control. I had a lot of fear going on Accutane because there was a lot of fear around Accutane when I was growing up. But the thing is that every single one of my friends had crazy side effects on birth control. I had no side effects on birth control. And it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like medications affect everyone differently. And like the only thing that it did, which was technically what it was supposed to do for me, was baseline me out. Which, you know, I was very fortunate of that. I wanted my boobs to grow. I was 19. I was hoping for the bigger boobs. I did not get that. A few of my friends got that. And I was like, oh, that's a possibility? Sick. Someone should crochet the iTunes terms of service, LOL. No, I think like projects like that show like various details of like, yeah, here's a physical manifestation of the thing, like the terms of service are posting on YouTube. Maybe that's my next performance art, is I just do a stream where all I do is recite the terms of service of posting on social media sites. Like, so YouTube gets their, you know, that's what you opt into when you agree to start posting your videos. And I just read that out. Okay. Same goes with, maybe I do one for Twitch as well, simultaneously. Is it a possibility? I clearly did not read the booklet when I took it. Like, just to show, like, these are the words. Like, I just straight up sit there. I don't sit down and break them down. Like, because there's a lot of videos on YouTube from, like, law creators and tech creators and the like that, like, do break down, like, the terms of service and things like that. But I think there is... Would they sue me for copyright, though? Could they do that if I just read... Like, is there a copyright issue there if I just read off the terms of service? Because, like, it could be 25 minutes. It'll probably be 6 hours, you know? Like, it's one of those things. IUDs available in the States is criminal. There's, like, 2 options. Everywhere else has dozens. Yeah. I mean... The fact that there's still not general anesthesia or any form of pain management used for IUDs and the like various things in women's healthcare, there's like no pain management. It's insane. There would be a copyright issue. I mean, technically they own that warning, you know? Like if I just read that, if the whole stream was just me reading their terms of service, no anecdotes, no commentary, just me start to finish reading the entirety that is someone else's technical property, if that makes sense, even if it is a bunch of legalese. I would definitely have to practice because I am dyslexic, chat, and I would fuck up. If you add your opinion, it would be transformative, so free game. I wouldn't be adding my opinion, though. That's the whole point. The whole point is not to add the opinion. It's to read it so you understand the length of those in the spoken word. You know what I'm saying? Is a numbing spray to help a bit? I'll take what I can get. There you go. She's on part 10 now. Yep. All right. So here's the end. So I do my normal, and then I do an extra stitch for the loop so that when I turn back, it's even. Okay, trying to decipher here. Yes. The good news is I feel like there's going to be way less snags with this fabric, but it is hard to decipher the bits because of the way that not the fabric, the yarn, because it's a thicker yarn that like morphs together because it's just a fluffier yarn. There's not like fibers. It's like fluff. So I feel like this is going to be slower going than the other ones because the other ones you just kind of get in like a rhythm with it. This one I actually have to think about like, okay, that's the proper stitch for me to loop through, you know? That's a bright orange. Yep. It's neon. Yeah, and yes, I did think that when I bought it that this one panel was the same color yarn. It was not. These were all the same except for this one, which I was like, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Could be worse. Is anyone else working on a craft? Anyone else want to share the crafts they are working on? Dentists use, at least. Can you consider it satire? It would be considered not satire. It would necessarily be considered performance art more than anything, you know? The same way that, like, her making all of those panels for her birth control is technically classified as performance art in a sense because you're making, like, a physical piece based off of another thing, technically. The medium is, like, the big thing. Like, the time that goes into making that. Her speed, though, really is crazy for, like, the items. I've been working on this for literal months. I do go weeks at a time without touching it, though, because I'm insane. I'm knitting on my Dior dupe sweater. Ooh, love that. And bookmarks for TwitchCon. Yay, I will be at TwitchCon. I know a lot of people are pulling out. I am going. I'm not doing any like live shows or anything like that, which is one of the reasons I feel safe going. However, there has been more things that have happened that make my team make me want to have security. Which I'm not going to have security, chat, but I will be incognito sometimes. So Anarchy is doing a meet and greet. I will probably be there. But if you go to Anarchy's meet and greet, be aware I am not the one doing the meet and greet. I am there to be a psycho and body block for Anarchy because I have no problem punching someone in the face. So I will be on bodyguard mode. However, if I go to TwitchCon and I'm like, oh, I'm unsafe, there are other people that will be stepping into bodyguard mode and I will not be there. So. Current crafts, hand sewing, mending, crocheting a sweater, sewing a doll outfit. Nice. What I need to do, I have my big comforter that I use on my bed needs a few mending spots. I want it because it's velvet. And when I wash it from time to time, the little velvet bits fall out of the main like base of the thing. I want to add stars because it's this nice dark blue, and I'm thinking if I mend it with stars over the gaps, it'll look cool. You know, like gold stars or like a bright yellow. Also gonna be on Bouncer, and sure, let me take your photo for you. Duty for Anarchy. There we go. Get a ladder so you can be a permanent threat, delivering the people's elbow at any given time. No, my main capabilities as muscle is that no one expects me to be the muscle, and then suddenly my throat's my fist is in your throat. That's the thing. You know, being having the high ground kind of gives away my tactical advantage. Dupe. Dupe. God, yeah, maybe me being there isn't a good idea, Sparkly. I talked about it with Anarchy. I gotta talk with her more about it. Because originally she was like, I'm gonna need you there for the meetup. Because she has other VTubers that could potentially help out too. But like, it's her meetup. I don't want it to be a problem that I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Because I will feel like a piece of shit if anyone is like, oh, swell, can I get a photo when we're at Anarchy's meet and greet? You know what I'm saying? She will have a squad of folks that she told me about. Yeah, no, she mentioned that too, but she said that she might want me there. But it's a matter of, should I be there? You know what I'm saying? Some are more aware than others. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll talk with her. I'm going to see her tomorrow. I mean, on Friday. Boop. All right, so far the actually finding the nether loop is not terrible. I mean, it might shrink slightly just because of the nature of the fabric. I mean, I keep doing that. It's because it feels like fabric. It doesn't feel like yarn. It is yarn, but I just go for the top bit, and that's typically the right loop. Oh, I started watching The Girlfriend last night, chat. Has anyone watched this on Prime? It's called The Girlfriend, and it's based off a novel that this made me want to read the novel. I think I'm 3 episodes in. It's one of the most riveting thriller shows I've seen in a minute. I'm annoyed I'm not watching it right now. However, I decided I would wait till later to finish it. Starring Olivia Cook and God, what's her name? What's her first name? Not Aaron Wright. Robin Wright. Okay, from House of Cards. Okay, she plays the mother. Olivia Cook plays the girlfriend. And they're just like this. The episodes are you get like half the episode from Laura, the mom's point of view, and then you get half the episode from Cherry, the girlfriend's point of view, and it's so well done. The acting is phenomenal. I'm locked in. It ends on this insane. The episode I ended on finished on this insane cliffhanger, and I'm like, I need to go fucking to sleep if I keep watching. Also, Olivia Cook is so hot in this show, chat. I'm like, oh my god, she's so hot in the show. It's actually insane. I'm like distracted watching. I'm like, shit. Excited to see more of it when I'm done with streaming. But because this is my Wednesday. My Wednesdays are like my lazy day, even though they're never lazy. It's usually me getting various household work done because it's technically the only day during the work week where like there's technically no like pressing work to be done. So it's usually like Amanda's catch-up cleaning day where like I have laundry in the laundry machine right now. I did dishes today. I was gonna go to the store, but I've decided I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna be gone all weekend for the most part, so I don't really want to go to the store potentially. I think I can stretch my groceries till at least Monday. So glad you said something. Description makes it seem Lifetime-esque. I mean, it is Lifetime-esque, but it's very well done. In concept, yeah, but I mean, not everything. There are good Lifetime movies, chat. Like, there are good ones. How's your neck doing, Swell? It's much better. It doesn't hurt that much at all today, which is good. I'm still kind of taking it easy. I didn't work out or anything like that. I'm gonna go in my pool after this, and see if that helps just a little bit. Go in the jacuzzi for a bit, kind of move my body a little bit without like running or anything like that, you know? She's sharing the meet and greet with one of the other VTubers, but yeah, good idea to clear that. And you want a separate meetup? We can figure that out. Oh, we're not doing a meetup. I don't. I don't want a meetup. I love a sanctioned meetup. I love a meetup where the event gives me a security guard. You know, that's my ideal, which we're not do, which they have not offered and they will not do. So I will not be doing a meetup at TwitchCon, chat. Apologies. If you see me, you can say hi. I am totally cool with that. But I feel like a meetup, I would need someone around that has a taser, you know, just for my own peace of mind. I just imagine you signing badges and losing it because that feels wild. I have been asked to sign many a badge before. It's not uncommon. I think that makes sense though. Like a lot of people get their badges signed at conventions because it's like it's the easiest thing to have signed. And then also because I review events, it makes sense to have me sign a badge, you know? GT challenge at Indy. The 18th. I think I'm traveling. I don't know. We shall see what I am doing. I think I'm doing a thing. Okay, no worries. I can't picture you what the Swell signature looks like. Swell signature. So I am a movie star in training, chat, or you know, international race car driver. Depends. So my signature involves my A's looking like a star. It's not a Swell signature. It's an Amanda signature. I sign my looking like a star too. Yeah, if you have an A in your name, it's very easy to turn your signature into a star. Oh, I'm making it a little too chunky, I think. Oh well. We'll see. We'll see how this loops around. There we go. I think I was picking up 2 stitches when I was looping in before, which that's fine. It's not a big deal. Just correct and continue. Tried that before, lol. Thank you for following. Sometimes. Or that's not. That was bad. Very messy, but there you go. It's blue on blue, so I'm not worried about it. So I drew more stars on my sign and then she gave me a detention. I have the super cool thing where I'm an adult, so I get to do what I want. There we go. Jimmy Kimmel was back on the air last night, chat. I did not watch, but I did see clips. Good on him for mentioning the Epstein files, frankly. So. When I'm in school. Yeah, no, I got you. I got that. All right, we're going over where I looped back before chat with the old boop. There we go. And then more purple. There we go. Sorry, I'm locked in, chat. 1 second. Let me get through this bit, because this is where the unraveling could happen, which we don't want. There we go. The whole episode is on YouTube. Cool. I gave up cleaning my room, and now I'm working on LPS customs. I'm in the phase where I want to scream at my work. Artists will know what I'm talking about. Kind of wish you mentioned celebrities move so quick on this, but not about Palestine and Sudan. I hear you, and I agree with everyone being like, the other thing that I feel like people were reporting, because I do think it's very valid to be like, oh, so you can boycott Disney, you can like unsubscribe and all this stuff when it's a white guy, but not when it's dead children in Palestine. And I totally get that. I also feel like BDS in particular, which is the boycott list that I personally go off of when it comes to the genocide in Palestine, they have pretty much always had Disney under a pressure boycott, which is not like an all-encompassing boycott. It's like acknowledging that you can't fully boycott Disney, so you boycott where you can, and that's where they would like boycott specific Marvel movies and very specific Disney movies. Like they would be like, do not go to this thing, do not do this type of thing. Okay. But the other thing on top of that, it's always been mentioned like, oh yes, also like don't use Disney Plus. Like don't do, like if you can do it, cancel it, do it. Again, people are selfish assholes. Like there's no way around that. I just think that it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if this gets people talking about the censorship for the fact that people have literally been censored because they've talked about Palestine and the fact that there's a genocide going on, if this is what gets people talking about that, yes, I agree. I wish it would have been 2 years ago. But I also think at a certain point, we just got to be excited for the help, you know, like just be glad that more people are talking about it. And I get being angry, and I get that that's also probably a very privileged state for me to be in as a white woman. So, but it's just one of those things where I'm just like, at some point, like people are not gonna let go of this with the Disney Plus thing. Also, they're raising their prices, which is beyond fucking dumb. Everyone's raising their prices, but Disney Plus in particular announcing the price raises now, beyond stupid. Beyond stupid. Listen, if you want to watch the show on Disney Plus, there are other ways to watch the show. Agreed. True. It still doesn't really break the wheel that's turning where everyone has to say that person was a saint. I agree. He did still tear up talking about that person, which again, as you guys know, I'm watching my wording because I'm not in the mood for death threats. There's no one they can really call. My team is very familiar with where my politics lie, you know. But I just don't feel like the barrage of death and assaulting threats today. So I'm playing the shut the fuck up game, you know. I think it also has to deal with the war in the Middle East beforehand. We killed so many kids during our time in Iraq and Afghanistan. There's a lot of people that still don't like talking about the fact. Like, they just, like, won't acknowledge the fact when people are like, oh, Obama's a war criminal. Which, like, pretty much every single president, we've talked about this, pretty much every single president has bombed civilians at some point, you know. Like, we can talk about that. The U.S. has a history of being fucked, you know. Like, that's not anti-patriotic for me to talk about that, the reality of the history of this country. Trump is just actively doing fucked up shit to his own citizens while also doing fucked up shit to other countries and arming Israel and bombing Iran. Like, it's... and cozying up to Putin. Like, it's just... every day there's something new, unfortunately, you know? And also, we've talked about this before. Unfortunately, It's very hard for people to be worried about another country when their country feels like they are drowning in their own country. It doesn't mean that the people in Palestine that are being actively experiencing an active genocide, it does not mean that their lives are less valuable or anything like that, but it's very hard to bail out someone's ship while you're also sinking. And so there's a lot of people here in the United States that can't feed themselves, that can't do various things because of the current state of the economy. In part from what was already started with the Biden. The Biden administration did not help things. I'm not going to sit here and be like they did an incredible job when they didn't. This is not all Trump. This started with the 2016 administration, continued on with the Trump administration. COVID also vastly crippled world organizations and the United States, and seemingly we're just not supposed to talk about that. And then also we now have Trump, who is just speed running, nuking the United States. He backtracked on Putin. Thank God. Every day the horrors persist. Yes. Like a mother who doesn't, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell a mother who can't feed her children, who can't get a job, that she should be, you know, fundraising for Palestine right now. Like, I just, like, I get it. That's shitty of me to say. But I get, like, multiple things can happen simultaneously and all of them are horrible. Yes, actively bombing children in camps when you're being forced out of your home is actively the worst thing happening. Yes. However, it's very hard for people to think about that when they can't feed themselves, you know? Like, there are people there's apparently, like, what is it, 1,500 people just missing that were supposed to be that were in Alligator Alcatraz. They demanded that it be shut down. Those people just missing. Their family members don't know where they are. They can't find them. What's the quote from Jesus? You can't take a splinter out of your brother's eye till you take the plank out of your own, or something like that. Oh dear. It's cool how being politically aware feels like being a conspiracy theorist now. It's just don't Google Erica Kirk and you won't feel like you're going fucking insane. Like, just it's one of those things where I refuse to let them take my whimsy, you know. I refuse, like, I saw a very funny video from someone who is actively in a camp in Gaza currently, whose home is being bombed, and he came out and he was like, looking to see where y'all are being taken to with the rapture. Like, he made a really funny rapture joke that made me laugh, and I was just like, see, that's funny. And it's horrible because he's finding humor in the time where his people are literally being genocided. And it's like, but he is finding, like, you have to be able to find joy at times of horror. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to say acetaminophen is so funny to me. God. You know what? We're just all going to start Tylenol maxing, clearly. You know? I want to get the super autism. It's just, you know, I refuse to let this administration, I like, take my whimsy and take my will to live. Because if I only focus on the horrible stuff, I will not be able to get through the day. And I can't help anyone if I can't help myself at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Me, Yappin' It's gonna be a fun time. Also, the horrors persist, but so do I, okay? Not funny, but also not funny. You know what I'm saying? The audio's quite low because I leaned away from the audio for a second. My mic is borderline maxed out, so. Also, Anarchy is playing what's it called? Hades 2, and I fear I will not hear from her for a few days. Sorry, someone commented on one of my LinkedIn posts, and I want to tell him the designer is myself. Who are you? Why are we connected? I don't remember why we connected, but he commented something on my one of my LinkedIn. I am. Let's see. I'm gonna leave it. He's fine. How can I finish that while mid Baldur's Gate 3 run? I don't know. Said she's streaming bright and early for her husband. I imagine she's gonna get some wild clips. It's funny because she is married. She has a real, like, 3D husband, a corporeal husband, and instead she wants to talk with Zagreus. Your eye while there is still a beam in your own. Yeah. Then I try to live the rest of the 22. See, it's hard because I like to be informed. I like to know what's going on in the world so I can be properly informed, but also properly fearful. But it's just one of those things where it's like every time it's something insane, you know? A flesh husband, if you will. God. It's hard when the things that you are, you know, keeping up to date about, the horrors, are children being murdered via nukes in Palestine. Okay. And then here it's, yeah, hey, so everything's on fire, costs are going up, and also we might start fucking around with more of your rights. Oh, and if you're any shade darker than paper, we might pick you up and put you in a disappearing place. It's really bad. And so it's like, okay, cool, I want to be informed, but also, oh my God, I want to start screaming and punching things, which is what they want from me. You know, they want political unrest. They want the reason to call in which they've already called in the National Guard. But, you know, they want the reason to start beating people up and arresting them and then having a bigger workforce in the prisons. That's what they want. They want to be able to just like take over control of various states and cities and make it so that, like, they want to punish any leftist state. They want to punish any leftist city. And be like, oh, look, you can't run your city. We have to force you out. I'm going to fire you. I'm going to sue you. That's what they want. And so I have to sit here and aggressively crochet and hope that I don't have a panic attack or, you know, become a threat to society. I like the way you're speaking, girlfriend. Thank you. I'm stressed. Always, all the time. I have to limit myself to what horrors I see. I'm only allowed to look at the horror per day or else I will have a panic attack or meltdown. Yeah, and then also it's the problem where it's like my job involves me being very online. Even if I'm like, okay, I'm not engaging with the horror, the horrors will find me. The horrors are in tune with my algorithm and they will force their way in front of me, which again, I appreciate having freedom of speech and the ability to learn about horrors in other countries, horrors in my own country, horrors that do not actively apply to me, because I do like to be informed and I do have empathy for other people because I'm not a complete fucking psychopath. But oh my God, does it make it hard to then go and answer a fucking email? So hard right now. Nope, because I'm not calling for violence. So if I want to say that Trump is a dumbass who can't say the word acetaminophen, I get to say that on the internet. That's my opinion. They want to be the capital from the Hunger Games so bad. See, if I thought that Trump could read, I would believe you. We're straight. We're going to make your life a living hell. And then everyone's also like peddling GLP-1s, okay? Which, for the record, I know many people that are on Ozempic or Ozempic-like drugs. It affects everyone differently. I have zero desire to take one, nor do I need to take one. I'm fairly small. But the wide push of it feels weird. The wide push of, you know, going back to heroin chic thinness, you know, with slightly more muscle definition. And then also, again, the push for conservative values and things like that. Very weird. Makes me uncomfortable. Makes me not want to let anyone with a penis touch me ever again with a 10-foot pole, you know? The acetaminophen memes coming out. The acetaminophen, what was it you guys called it? Paracetamol? Paracetamol? Is that what you guys called it? What you guys call it in other countries? But I am loving all of the come and take it Tylenol memes. Those are very fun. Tylenol did put out a statement saying that they are the most tested drugs, one of the most tested drugs ever, which I believe is actually true. Paracetamol, Panadol. Oops. I want Tylenol to sue the administration so badly, also Pokemon, because they did the thing with Pokemon. Apparently said they will not sue. Throw it out. Which, I mean, IndyCar didn't sue. Why would I think that Pokemon would sue, you know? It's just... everything's annoying. Bring back diseases like polio that were all but eliminated with vaccines. Yep. It's just... we're team science in this house. We're team vaccine. Okay? We're team autism is not the worst thing on the planet to have. Okay? We're team pain management, and fever reduction is a very big risk to pregnancy, to the both the child that the mother wants and the mother herself. Okay? If a mother gets a fever for whatever reason during a pregnancy, it can be detrimental to the health of both of them. And that is why Tylenol, there is a medication that people are allowed to take while pregnant, and it's only Tylenol. It is a very big risk to get a fever during a pregnancy. It is not, people are focusing on the pain relief element, which I think is obviously a very important element because they want women to suffer, obviously, okay? They want you to be too weak and in pain from pregnancy to be able to organize and work and do your job and make money and be dependent on a man, etc. But also, this will lead to, unfortunately, the death of mothers and babies. It will if they truly try and find a way to vilify Tylenol and find a way to try and ban it from being taken during pregnancy or whatever. Because if you can't bring down a fever, it is basically a death sentence. It is very bad, because especially what people don't realize when you're pregnant, you're not just growing a fetus, you have extra blood in you. So if you have a fever, it can be deadly. Any fever can be deadly, but it can be deadly during pregnancy because you literally have extra blood in you. It's really bad. To work because maternal leave is a joke. Yep. They will never understand science. He can't say the word acetaminophen. If he could have said Advil, he would have. If he could have said something else, he would have. Slightly. Everything is awful. Everything is bad all of the time. I'm gonna crochet and find a way to survive this life of mine. No, it makes me think. I saw a video of the person who was trying to get groceries for their daughter, and the shopper didn't pick up kids' Tylenol because of Trump, but they picked up another drug that had acetaminophen in it. I can't. I just can't. I really can't. I really can't. I've also, the other thing that was hitting my feed on YouTube quite a bit was videos from farmer YouTubers. There's quite a lot of farmer YouTubers, chat. And some of them were like, let's talk about why farmers feel betrayed by Trump. Because they knew what Trump was going to do and how it was going to impact farmers. Except last time, because he did this last time, he just gave farmers a bunch of money. So a bunch of farmers were like, oh, he's going to do all this shit that's going to fuck us over again, but we're just going to get a bunch of money. So that's fine. And now the money's not coming, and Trump did everything else he said he was going to do. So now a bunch of farmers are freaking the fuck out, and, fuck around and find out. And, a bunch of farmers were talking about that, which I thought was interesting, because it's another good breakdown of like, oh yes, this is an element that I kind of know about, but I don't know about it in the context of this job, As a kid of a farmer for fellow farmers. Boo-hoo. Yup. Let me pull up one of them because I do think this is a good video if you guys would like to watch it. Oops. I think this was the video I watched. I'm not certain. It does show that I watched it, but I don't know if this is the video that I watched. I watched quite a few, but I'll put it in the chats for y'all if you would like to watch it. Paste. There you go. And this is from Farm to Tabor instead of Farm to Table. I'm a farmer, and I'm always surprised when people say they were lied to about what Trump would do to us. We weren't. Venezuelans for Trump thing. She said he promised they won't touch us. No, exactly. It's the you hoped you would get money. It's the you hoped they would go after other people. We didn't think they would go after us. We thought you were going to take down the, small farmers that were just like cutting into our bottom line of our big farming operations. But no, I didn't think they would come after us too. Because a lot of farmers are actually fairly wealthy, especially like older farmers that have been in operations for, decades and the like. He's the dumbest person politically on the planet. Some people are. God, the anime community chat on TikTok is ripping into the Trash Taste podcast. Ripping into that anime guy, and the like, it's brutal. Yeah, they're called plantation owners. Oh, that too. What's the tea? Yeah, specifically Joey. But no, a lot of people are like, actually, the whole podcast fucking sucks. They're pulling up a podcast clip of when they had Hassan on, and Hassan was talking about how One Piece is a very political anime, and they all were like, how is it political? And it's like, did you fucking watch it? Like, every piece of art is very political. It's so weird because the amount of people that think just because something doesn't feel preachy means that it's not political is fascinating. Appropriately attacks farmers in the UK, and they had a fit. I never thought the leopards would eat my face. Sobs woman who voted for leopards eating face party. I saw a little bit of it. I haven't watched him in a while because I learned some stuff from a friend about him. I had no idea he was like hardcore defending lolly. I don't like that personally. Farming is surprisingly unprofitable for most farmers. The biggest ones are fine, but hundreds shut down every year. Yep. They watch animes with brains turned off and no thinking, just seeing the visuals. Yeah, Trash Taste is an anime podcast. That's what I heard about him. I once had to argue with a classmate. Hunger Games is literally political. I was like, boy, that's a whole point of the series. They didn't think to not think the Hunger Games is political is wild. That's a new one. Haven't heard that one before. Soul Entertainment. Maybe. Watch my very small anime. Oops, sorry. Watch my very small anime YouTubers that just cover magical girls. Yeah. Well, what stemmed all of this was, I believe Joey made the video on anime tourism, which honestly, when I clicked on his video, I figured he was going to, oh, sorry, I'm out of focus. Hang on. I did start watching that video because I thought when I clicked on it, I did not think it was like the concept of like new anime viewers. I thought it was anime tourism, as in people literally traveling to Japan to go to different sites that are featured in anime. That's what I fully thought that video was going to be, because I'd never heard the phrase anime tourism before. And then I started watching the video and I was just like, oh, okay. I don't think I agree with any of this, and I like clicked off. I don't think I finished the video. I thought it was a dark romance. I'm sorry, Moonrise. I'm so sorry. I just I'm sorry. Oh God. That's crazy actually. It'd be common sense to know I was wrong. Even as someone who has not read any of the Hunger Games books, the movies, even, I know it's political. Right wing time is like, I bet you think RoboCop is political. LOL. What is anime tourism? He described anime tourism as the concept of people coming into anime because it's cool now and only watching the most popular animes ever. So it's like it's like, I took it as rebranding the concept of normies, which we talk about normies from time to time here. Normies are classified as like people that aren't necessarily in fandoms, not necessarily involved in fandom culture, that then either previously have mocked people in fandom culture, anime spaces, video games, etc., and then started dabbling in them once they get popular, or because they suddenly think it's cool and then now suddenly it's cool because they're doing it. Or it's like sometimes you'll like go to a convention, and I've talked about like the criticism of like, oh, does this person actually watch anime, or do they just think like it's kind of the same concept as like getting annoyed, like quizzing a girl who's wearing like a band tee. Like it's like the same thing. Like, do you actually watch that band? It's the same thing, except it's not gender specific when it comes to normies more than anything. There's a bunch of different. Who is Gart? Which one is Gart? I don't know who that is. Let me see if there's an actual like official definition for anime tourism, because like I said, I had not heard this phrase as an anime fan myself. So, who has been watching anime since I was in literal middle school? Anime tourism, because I feel like if I just search this, yeah, see, everything for anime tourism when I search it up is showing up as like literal travel packages for doing trips inspired by anime, which is what I thought this was all about. I came in just thinking like, oh, are they going to talk about how like this is actually like a really predatory industry on the businesses? Like towns are being infested with like anime fans who don't realize that people actually live here. Like I'm thinking that's the video I'm clicking on. No, now it's this whole thing where I was like, because I do think there is a conversation to be had there, which I don't know. I have heard a lot of very positive stories when it came to tourism around animes, where it literally like saved various small towns in Japan because it was like a town was featured in an anime, and then it literally like brought life and money back into the town because people were coming to visit because the anime was so popular. And it's like, yes, there was no tourism to this town before. So that's fully what I was like, oh, is there a dark side to this? Are there towns where people are because like I've been to Japan, chat. We've talked about how American tourists are fucking things up. Not even just Americans, European tourists, tourists that aren't from Japan, let's go with that, who, you know, get fucked up and do fucked up things in Japan. And unfortunately, a lot of creators are doing that. So I fully thought that maybe this was a subset of that I just hadn't heard about yet, where it was people who were specifically going for anime tourism specifically that were causing a problem, and the different problems that would be associated with. That's what I thought I was clicking on. Ah, I see. Oh, Grant. He spelled it as Garnt, and I was confused. Actual tourism. Logan Paul coffee, yeah. It's culture war nonsense. So this is from 10 days ago. This is from Reddit. Am I an anime tourist? I've been seeing this term being used quite a lot recently, but I don't really know what it even means. The definition I got of it out of vids I watch is basically people who have recently got into anime but aren't into the niche stuff. They're mainly into the mainstream stuff, whatever is new that people are watching, and they kind of ride the waves of what's trendy. And since I've gotten more involved in the community and anime itself over the summer, I've been thinking if I qualify as a tourist. Like, again, this is very similar to normies, and it's like one of those things where it's like it's very, I think I'm one of those people when it comes to normie culture and the like, okay, where a lot of people occasionally accuse me of being a normie because, like I've said at the start of this, not all of my interests make it into my YouTube content. Does not mean that I've not been interested in that thing for over a decade, okay? So I don't personally take offense to it where someone is like, you're a normie, and I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. But I'm also one of those people where it's like, I want 80,000 seasons of the shows and projects that I like, you know. So it's like, if more people get into it, even if it's popular and trendy, I don't care. I want everyone watching the Apothecary Diaries. My friend literally called me and she was like, I'm blaming you for the fact that there's no more Apothecary Diaries on my TV. I'm like, good. Recommend it to other people. Like that's where I'm at with it, where it's like, yes, when it comes to musicians and things like that, Formula One, sure, you can argue that more people getting involved is raising ticket prices and making it less accessible. However, there's also potentially going to be a new market where things become more accessible at some point. And I also want my faves to keep making music, keep racing, keep doing live events and the like, okay? And more fame, more support helps that. So I don't personally have a problem with it, even when it comes to anime, because like I said, I want 80,000 seasons. I want 80,000 seasons. And also, a lot of popular animes are good. Who cares? Oh, they didn't watch this one horror gore anime that came out in 2008 that only got 12 episodes. Okay. All right, that I'm okay with that. You know, like it's one thing, yes, because anime is such a broad genre, such a broad art form that there is a lot of great opportunities for new animes within that. But I don't think that's a chance to shame people. It's a chance to be like, oh, have you checked this out yet? I think you'd really like this one. You know what I'm saying? So long as it's niche. The core pushers of the term are complaining about women and brown people coming in and ruining things because they think it's the same thing that happened to games and comics. I hate that like circle the time is a flat circle. You know, like I hate that like everything is cyclical and nothing is new and everything is repeated. Truly, like it's the same argument repackaged again and again and again. You know, like the performative, like I was not participating in the whole performative male like topic that's going on because I thought it was dumb, frankly. But of course it got flipped, so now men have made performative women stuff. Guess what the number one performative women trait is? They've said liking Formula One. That's a performative women trait. She's lying if she likes Formula One. Which so a bunch of Formula One mutuals of mine started making videos like, oh yeah, this is performative, and my thought was just, I don't feel the need to make a video because I've never felt the need to feel validated by a man. I don't need a man to see value in my interests or defend myself to a man in this way. That seems dumb. Keep yelling at your phone, King. I hope you get the views, you know? But it's like this, it's just, and I straight up was like, we're just repackaging ancient sports misogyny. That's all we're doing. Like, it's just the same shit again and again and again. Same with this. It's like, God forbid your art form, like, and I get it. It's shitty when someone has, when you've been bullied for liking a thing. I admit, as someone who very openly liked anime from middle school onward, I was never bullied for liking anime. I was bullied for being a nerd. Not because of anime. I was bullied for being smart in class. I was bullied for being dyslexic. I was bullied for having a drunk alcoholic mother. That's what I was bullied for. I was not bullied because I was bullied for being a know-it-all. You know, I wasn't bullied because I liked anime. And again, everyone to each their own. I'm not denying anyone's, you know, reality, but like that's where it's like, yeah, I just don't reply to the DMs that I get from my bullies who ask for YouTube help. You know, I'm not gonna be mad if they start liking anime, you know? Performative entertainment news side channel name. Someone said it literally does not matter. Tourist is usually just thrown around at anyone who likes popular things. Even if it did, I feel like having a MAL by itself means you're not a tourist. What's an MAL? What are they saying? Oh, my anime list. Oh, do I want? Do not give me a my anime list. Oh God, do not get me started on this. I don't need another tracking site. Oh God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, I already don't have a letterbox for this specific purpose, chat. I can't have a my anime list. My anime list is a tracker to track anime that you're watching. And you can track it by episode and the like. You'd still get the soul bullied out of you for Naruto running down the hall. Makes sense. Enjoy stuff. If you're not harming anyone or doing something bad, just let them enjoy it. Yeah. Wait, Letterboxd is bad. No, Letterboxd is not. No, it's bad for me, chat. I don't need more things to do. I don't need more busy work. I don't need to. I have a problem with getting through shit, shows, movies, whatever, books. Okay. I don't need to log them, rate them, things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's bad. It's bad because I can't have another thing that I need to like obsessively track, you know? It's dumb and girly. If we like obscure and manly things, we are faking it. How about now? No, exactly. Again, it's just like I wasn't gonna date you before anyway, bro. What's the point? Like, is IP banned in the Golka household? Yeah, no, don't use Goodreads. I do use Storygraph still. I just haven't been keeping up with it, frankly. I need to update it. I do like Storygraph because I like data. I like a spreadsheet. I like a data. Plus, I have a book reading goal for this year, so that's why I'm using Storygraph, because Storygraph is not owned by Amazon. I meant like CIA or company tracking. Oh, no, tracking, like physically tracking the media that you are watching. Like a lot of you have asked for my letterbox. I purposely do not have a letterboxed. Like 2 seasons ahead, which is what I use mainly for besides tracking what animes I've watched. That's nice. I deserve that. She needs to eat and drink water. I need to make content, chat. My distraction is crochet. That's what we're distracting me with. Is that Hermes? Oh, sorry. Thank you for the bits. What's up? Thank you for the bits. Crochet hype. Thank you, Kiyokone. Thank you. Sorry, I heard the alert on my headphones. My headphones are on my head, so I was like, what was that? Thank you for the crochet hype. Much appreciated. But yeah, every other video on TikTok right now, because you know, TikTok's one of those platforms right now where they give you a new video, and if you watch it all the way through, the next 10 videos are like referencing that. So every video that I'm getting is currently about the anime man, anime tourism bit situation from Joey. Swell crochets. Is there anything she doesn't do? Fly? No. I do fly. I just can't fly a plane. Although my friend is a pilot and she keeps offering to do a video with me because she's also a creator, where she like teaches me how to fly her plane, which would be very cool, I think. Sounds so fun. I got stuck in the window tinting competition on TikTok. I keep getting the window tinting videos. I assumed because they knew I renewed my SEMA registration. I am going back to SEMA this year, chat. I assumed that's what it was. I learned to fly an airplane so you don't have to. Me just casually getting my pilot's license would be crazy. Window tinting? Yeah, so like on a car, like competitive window tinting. The other one is competitive car wraps. I've seen those. Competitive what? Yep. There's a competition for everything, chat. There's definitely competitive crochet. Obviously. Price is like 40K. They tint the window. Yep. Login to Love in Deep Space, but server is in maintenance, crying over my girly hobby. Yep. I just keep consuming Love in Deep Space content, but I'm not playing Love in Deep Space, which it drives Anarchy crazy that I like don't care about playing the game, but I want to like get all the cutscenes and everything. And I'm like, listen, I know what I'm about. Just give me my Snow Crow content and I will live. A lot of stuff is down for maintenance though right now. I saw there's going to be a archive of our own maintenance update soon too, I think. To learn about new hobbies is to read about insane crash outs on the hobby drama subreddit. I'm literally on Reddit right now. Hold on. Hobby drama. books, the book thief and the monastery. A bibliophile is someone who collects books. A bibliomaniac is someone who hoards them. Transformers collecting, the identity of crisis of Megatron. What's the most powerfully useful underground website that most people don't know about? Oh, this is a promoted post. Never mind. Zyla? Oh, no. That's not Zyla. I don't know who Zyla is. No, my friend's name is Kay. Tay. I do not know who Zyla Foxlin is. 27th for AO3. Yeah. One sim looks sick. It does look good. Is a grind, not gonna lie. Yeah. My favorite was going to Anime Expo with Anarchy and some of her VTuber friends. So we were there with Phoenix and K Sarah. And both of them started playing Love in Deep Space because of Anarchy, and they claim it's because they like the fighting bits. But then both of them both have a favorite love interest, and they were very excited to wait in line to get a photo with their love interest cutouts. It was very, very. They wanted the merch. They wanted. It was very. It was very funny. Who does rocket stuff too and has a pilot license? Oh, cool. I shall check her out. Hold on. Let me write down. Yeah, never seen her stuff before, it looks like. She's LA based as far as I know. Did you hear about the whole Love and Deep Space homophobic drama a few years back? I'm sure I probably did when it did happen. It's not that few years back. It's been, what, 2 years, if that, for Love and Deep Space? It hasn't been that long. Oh, she's friends with Allie. Gotcha. After that, I'm going to sleep. Anne Vavni is wanting to hear about your guys' hobbies, chat, on Twitch, because I know you guys can't see all the YouTube chat as much. And Navni and nope. Anne Avni. I got it. Yes? Sorry. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I'm checking something, chat. I play and write music. Ahoy, hope your neck is feeling better. It is. Printmaking and garage kits for me. I play and write music, yes. Haha. Screaming, crying, and throwing up has been pretty stable hobby for me. Valid. D&D and board games, social deduction games. And ovni, as in aliens. Oh, makes sense. Knitting, sewing, and cross-stitching for me. Hello, I like collecting little pet shops and customizing them. Kuna, you going into both chats is very funny to me. I'm sorry. Watching YouTube and Twitch, playing video games, keeping up with rockets and space stuff. Same. Crochet. Also reading. see. Okay. Art preservation, the not so thrilling tale of the plundered portico and the fight over a country house. Intrigued. Hobby Scuffles Week 22. Spanish television. Transformers. Lots of Transformers collecting, which does not surprise me. Oh, I collect records too. Oh, and I love weed. Y'all are funny. Saying something dumb, wasting my ADHD uptime on research, and spending the crash time doing things that actually matter. Still time to find one. I feel like I don't have actual hobbies, most creative ones, which is sad. Not creative ones because I went to uni for fine arts. I think that's valid though, because for me, it wasn't until lockdown that I realized that I still loved reading, and it wasn't just like me pursuing English as my major, like had kind of made it so I fell out of love with reading a little bit because it just always felt like homework. And then COVID times and recommending of books and things like that, that really made me like reading again. So it's one of those things where it's like, I think you kind of got to like play around with it since you went to school for fine arts and just kind of see, you know, what's either relaxing or exciting for you to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's the thing as well with, at least, I don't know how old you are, obviously, but with my generation right now, especially for myself as I'm self-employed, it's very hard for me to like enjoy doing things I can't monetize because everything costs money and I'm self-employed. And if I don't make money, then I don't eat. And Hermes doesn't eat, and we can't have that. Okay. So, that's unfortunately like very common where people feel like hobbies are a waste of time, when really that's like a part of what makes you like a well-rounded person and like, you know, helps you develop, you know, coping habits and things like that. So it takes a lot of the fun out of everything you're taught. Took me so long to start drawing again after my design studies. Reading used to be super addicted to me. I'm 30 female. Gotcha. I do pottery and chainmail. God, I want to do chainmail so bad, but I feel like it's one of those things where if I start it, I will abandon it in like a month, and then I'll just have a bunch of wire and power tools around me. When I first moved to LA, I made myself start pursuing offline hobbies. So I'm literally looking. I have a bunch. I'm going to put them up now that I'm staying here for another year. I have a bunch of paintings that are paint by numbers that I did, because I was like, I need an offline hobby. I did gem art. I did Legos. I still have Legos. I did metal, like those, not like Gundams, but like the metal sculptures that are like figures that you get like the metal sheets and you make them. Tried those. Embroidery. Crochet again. Never tried to really get back into knitting. I still have knitting needles. I never really stopped sewing, but yeah. Because I also just found like I was staring at a screen far too much, you know? Unraise your rent. So we got it down to about a $66 raise, which is as good as I'm going to get it, chat. Which is why I decided to stay. I was annoyed by the whole process more than anything. For those who don't know, they tried to raise my rent $220 a month. I thought that was fucking absurd. So I fought back on it. We ended up getting it down to a $66 raise. What bothered me more than anything by the time it was all said and done was the lack of urgency on their end. It felt as if, you know, we were just talking about a contract and not my literal housing. And so I've decided that next year this will probably be my last year at this apartment, unfortunately, because I did see myself staying here until I bought a home one day. But clearly that's not the case. I'm just incredibly annoyed. So I'm going to stay here for this year because I don't have the time or money to move, unfortunately. Like moving to a place would be cheaper, but the cost of what I would save a month would just go into rent moving costs, which would be irrelevant. Like jigsaws, but rarely get to doing them. That's fair. Got into doing DIY minis. That's fun. Have you tried leaving the Steam and coming back? Sometimes that fixes the audio issues to me. Is there an audio issue? Only this stream. I've cranked everything to 100. Okay. I mean, it could be that I'm talking low. I don't know what else. No one else seems to be having a problem. Poorly made. So that's that. It's just this stream. Okay. I don't know what else it could be. Everyone else says it sounds fine. So I don't know. It could be the fact that I am talking low, but I don't feel the need to yell because I'm also trying not to lose my voice. So I do not know. Love everyone's hobbies. Stay creative, babes. I have to go sleep. Bye. Have a good night. Also, Elon's heavy lean into the hard right politics has made it harder to root for SpaceX. Yep. Their questionable treatment of employees was already problematic even before that. We sound fine on my end. Sometimes Twitch just messes up for some reason. I don't really hear an issue on my end. Good night, Ovni. Yeah. Night. Everyone's going to bed. Yeah, sometimes switching resolutions forces it to refresh and fix things. Yeah, I really don't know. Because sometimes Twitch is just annoying, but everything on my end, let me see. Let me check the Twitch stream on my end. Yeah, everything looks fine. It appears. I don't know what it would be, unfortunately. So many other rocket companies like Rocket Lab and Firefly to root for helps. Progress. We have another road chat. Let's see. There we go. Hold on, I gotta message Scootish about something. What? This feels very weird and parasocial. This This feels, this is parasocial alt just for, what Vic person? Who are you talking about? Sorry, that felt weird. That felt weird. Their photo looked very familiar, and I don't know why. Yeah, good luck with the bra, I guess. Hang on. That was weird. AI generated crochet kits are now a problem. LOL, fake pictures and instructions that make no sense. Yeah, they are. R/pattern making has become, there's a bunch of AI patterns that's apparently become a problem. I feel like I'm missing important context just a little bit. I felt like something was missing too. Being so excited when I saw a tweet announcing that started a space company. I stand as Bridget Mendler. She's low-key trying to colonize space, is my understanding. Space mostly. Is chat infected with bots? What is going on with slime and pimples? I don't know. So they mentioned a name of someone. That is on a bit of a red flag thing right now. With me. That name that they mentioned, I was like, that's familiar. Colonize space, low-key. If you hear one of her sit-down interviews, it's like, is that not colonizing space? Just a smidge? I don't know. I saw it in passing. I have to look into it more, chat. Sure, invest. Hang on, let me do. Let's see. Hang on. Exceptionalism to the stars. Yeah, that's what we need to do. You need stretch for pain prevention. I recommend looking into the book called Prescriptive Stretching. Sports medicine practitioner. I shall check it. between satellites and ground stations, if I remember correctly. Hmm. So I'm checking that hobby drama to see if there's anything else on here that I think is interesting. Oops. Nope. Stop putting a Y. The neck pain came from looking to the left every time Hermes was being himself. Maybe. No, I do think if there was anything that was like a direct issue, I'm assuming it's when I had my heavy camera bag on my neck, and then I like cracked my neck like I normally do when I had my like work bag with me. Honestly, it's super rewarding hobby, and I'm really glad I picked it up because it was so much easier to do than I thought. But I'm really struggling not to turn it into a side business. Haha. Yep, that'll do it. That's one of those things where it's like you have a hobby and you're like, I know I could make money at this. This I can't make money at. I'm not good enough. So that's why it's like I shall be bad at it, and that's okay. This is for me. It does not need to become a profitable hobby. I can simply make Many the blanket. The Pokemon Company issues a statement over Homeland Security's Pokemon-themed ice video. We are aware of the recent video posted by the Department of Homeland Security that includes imagery and language associated with our brand. Our company was not involved in the creation or distribution of this content, and permission was not granted for the use of intellectual property. Then sue the fuck out of Homeland Security. Oh, Rihanna had her baby. I thought she had a baby named Rocky already. Did she not? Anyways, the baby's name is Rocky. I don't know what the fuck Crave is. First look at Heated Rivalry, starring Connor Story and Hudson Williams. It follows a pair of leading Major League Hockey players who harbor a secret. Away from their rivalry on the ice, they are secretly lovers. Which Wattpad inspired this? Premiering on Crave. What the fuck is Crave? The fuck is Crave? A Canadian streamer? Can I watch it here? Crave streaming. Watch HBO Star movies. Can I torrent this? High Potential? They have High Potential on there. Is it like Tubi? Is it What do you mean you have do you have what do you have? Do you have everything? What's subscribe? What's your model looking like? Starting at $11.99 a month. They got Love Island. They got Crave Originals. A lot of hockey-based things on Crave Originals, apparently. Okay, let's see. Can I watch it here, or will it like be blocked in the United States? $22 a month. Ad-free with ads. Like our Hulu. It is native land in your native land of Canada. Hulu style, I should say. It's closer to Paramount if it's streaming arm one of the Canadian broadcasters, I think. Maybe need a VPN. I mean, nothing is saying I can't. It's not telling me, hello, this is blocked in your country. Because I will be watching the gay hockey show. I will be watching. I don't know. Okay, I'll check it later. Bookmarking. Wait, is there a TV show or movie? It looks like a show. I mean, it might be a movie. I don't know. Heated Rivalry? I don't know if it's a show or a movie. But I will be finding a way to watch. It's like a general TV streaming service. I think it's based on a book. It sounds like a Wattpad novel, chat. Oh, new Halloween game. Next year? Here I thought I was going to get to play a Halloween game for October, but no, it comes out September 8th, 2026 because everyone hates me. What was it called again? Heated Rivalry. I wonder if there's male yaoi writers out there genuinely homophobic, but literally don't know any other way to make a living. What? Like yaoi writers that are men that are homophobic? What do you mean? A new psychological thriller starring Mae Martin and Toni Collette premieres in 12 hours. I will be watching. A police officer moves to a picture-perfect town and begins investigating a series of unusual incidents at a school for troubled teens led by a mysterious woman. Cult stuff. We love to see it. Okay, everyone seems to really like Hades. It's usually not like that, Omen. It's more so that like gay writers have to write straight romance for money. I signed up, thanks. So have you played Date Everything yet? No, much to Anarchy's annoyance. She wants me to play it. Because I said she was tragically too straight to play that game. Could you do it like a hate run on that where you just get everyone to hate you? Probably. Oh, it's a series, not just a movie. OMG. MTL Boston Romance. I can't. Because I think that'd be really funny to try and get everyone to hate me. Taking 10 Tylenol every day when I'm pregnant so I give birth to the greatest F1 driver the world has ever seen. Hang on, sorry, let me check something. Sorry, family member has surgery today, chat. 1 second. No, that's not. I'm not giving you any more details. Let's see. When all the objects in your house beat your ass, your rude ass up with a baseball bat, but also talk shit. Let's see. It's 4. I don't know what I want to do for. I have a thing of tinned oysters, and what I've been making is oysters Rockefeller, but I'm kind of thinking of doing like an oysters pesto pasta for dinner, where I just like saute the tinned oysters in the pesto sauce, a little bit of pasta water, and then I make like a spaghetti oyster pasta. That might be the move. I'm pissed Apple TV Plus has indefinitely delayed the release of their new show, The Savant, starring Jessica Chastain. Delaying the release of anything Jessica Chastain is in is illegal. 2, the series follows an undercover investigator who infiltrates hate groups online to detect and prevent domestic extremists before they act. What do we mean? Why are we postponing that? Because you're worried about upsetting domestic extremists in these groups? Is that what we're doing? Is seaweed pesto a thing? Because I feel it's appropriate. I do not have seaweed pesto. I have regular basil pesto. If you have lemon, it pairs really well with a bit of... Oh, I do have lemon. My basil's a little fucked up, but I do have a little bit of lemon. I need to stop buying lemons. And I need to just start buying those like lemon juice squeezy things. Because I never finish the lemon when I'm cooking with lemon. Never once. And then it just sits and shrivels up in my fridge like a weirdo. People don't like looking in mirrors. They're not very big. It's just I don't use them a ton, you know? It's like I don't want lemon in all of my dishes. I think one of the funniest visuals at Charlie Kirk's memorial is that one guy that was carrying around the giant cross, but then when you zoom out, there's wheels on the bottom. It's to make it easier to carry. Just some of the... So I hope there are schools looking at that image and asking them to parse through the symbolism, you know? I never finished the 3-pound bag of tangerine bag. See, I finished that. I go through those because I eat those like they're, you know, popcorn. Like I go through like the one serving size is 2 of those things. So I can go through those pretty easily. I've tried doing the 2-pound bags they always rot so quickly. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the way that they distribute or what, but for some reason it's the 2 pound bags just like expire so much faster to me. Um, They're new to cosplay. Just ridiculous. Put it on some gyoza ravioli hybrid. Is that not just like you could? Actually, I'm gonna stop talking. All right, we've done 2 hours. I might just wrap up this stream. Sorry for the shorter stream, chat. Because yesterday I was like, I'm going to do a shorter stream and it was almost 3 hours. And then today I'm like, I think I'm going to wrap it up a little bit more. Sorry. Let me. No, the amount of people that have tried to get me to go to a Turning Point USA rally, chat, I really don't like the idea of doing that whatsoever. You know, I really don't, because it's the same reason I haven't made a video on, say, Andrew Tate, because the percentage of, let's say if I get 100,000 views on that video, there's going to be at least a fraction of that audience that agrees, like, oh, this guy is saying some things that I kind of agree with. Let me check out more of his stuff. And then I've unintentionally radicalized someone, which I'm hyper aware of. So there's at least, like, statistically, like 10,000 people that could watch that video of the 100,000 people that saw it. That would be like, the person I'm talking about is making sense, you know? And then I have radicalized someone, and I don't want to do that. Have time to eat, chat. Oh, okay, let's see. Twitch. Are you working, chatters? Yes, you are. Okay, cool. Twitch, let's see. YouTube chatters, you guys can kick it for a second. Okay, Anarchy's playing Hades. We're rating Anarchy for Twitch. YouTubers, if you guys want to go watch Anarchy, you totally can. But she's over on Twitch, not on YouTube. But have fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. All right, YouTube. Hang on, let me put this on. Thank you, YouTube viewers, for watching. I will see y'all tomorrow. Alrighty.